Welcome back to Hobart-Detter Field, getting set for game number 3. The umpires went just a little fast, but I had a few technical difficulties up here. Hutchinson forced the game 3 with a 13-4 win. And now it's up to sophomore Miguel Reyes Jr. to pitch the Dragons into Wichita. Reyes has not had the big year he had his freshman year, but he's had his moments. Just recently committed and I believe signed with the University of New Mexico. Reyes 2-3 with a .568 earned run average, making his 14th start. He's had 3 complete games. 63 in the third innings pitched, 61 hits, 51 runs. He has struck out 71 and walked 33, and opponents hitting .248 against. So they will face a lineup of Landon Lord at short, Josh Praley at second, Drew White the catcher, Justin Perez bats fourth and's at third base. The designated hitters, Evan Jacoby batting fifth, Tate Saldana bats sixth, Rustin Postier bats seventh at first base, second baseman's Abner DeJesus, he bats eighth, and Dante Federico bats ninth. Here we go, game number 3. The winner goes to Wichita. And Reyes' first pitch is low, ball one, first pitch at 4:05 p.m. Righty into the motion, swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. The wind in the pitch. It's fouled off to the right. Earlier today, Landon Lord was 3 for 5 in the second game. Had a double and drove in 2. For the series now, 3 for 9, a double and 2 driven in. Hasn't scored a run yet. The pitch. A little slider foul. Miguel Reyes Jr. currently 6th on the all-time strikeout list with 125. He needs 3 to move all the way up to 4th. 1-2 pitch. That pitch in the dirt, the slider, and it's 2-2. It's been a very inconsistent year for Miguel. He's had his issues. He has a team-high 11 hit batters. 2-2 pitch. Foul out of play to the right again, and it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to lead a batter Landon Lord. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's how game number 3 starts. Dragon pitching struck out 19 in game 1 yesterday, and they tacked on 9 more strikeouts in game 2 between Dylan Nedved and Brian Skillman. Now 1 away for left fielder Josh Praley. He's back into the 2-hole. Ground ball left side, deep short. Sartori Fields throws. Did he get him? Yes! What a play! Deep into the hole, Logan Sartori, and he throws a bullet to Baxley at first. 2 up and 2 down.
The sun escapes the clouds right now. Come on.
That'll bring up the 3rd leading hitter in the Jayhawk Conference and catcher Drew White. White 1 for 5 with an RBI in game number 1. Swing and a miss. Miguel challenged up in 2 games. White 1 for 8. Good fastball right at the knees, 0-2. We'll be joined shortly once again by Dan Nacarado. I appreciate you for helping me out in game number 2. The 0-2 pitch. Upstairs, 1-2.
Right, Danny? Coach Knack's still refilling his jug since game 1.
Reyes looks in, the big righty into the wind, the pitch. Slider misses outside, 2-2. It's the slider that's given Miguel the most problems this year in terms of consistent control. A lot of the batters he's hit of the 11, the pitch. Foul back out of play. Again, Reyes has hit 9 or 11 batters this year. 9 have come on the slider. And 6 of those with 2 strikes. Now the 2-2. Got him swinging, and it's a good start from Miguel Reyes in the first. 3 up and 3 down with a pair of strikeouts after a half. Cardinals nothing, and the Dragons coming up. Going to the mound for Labette in game number 3 is right-handed pitcher Caden Alexander. 6'2", 190-pound freshman from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. He'll face Logan Sartori, Dylan Nedved, and Zane Schmidt. We'll get you updated on the rest of the region. We've got plenty of scores. Most of the game one's complete. Alexander 2-5 with a 5.22 ERA, making his 6th start, 11th overall appearance for Aaron Kill's Cardinals. 36 2/3 innings pitched, 35 hits. Sartori first pitch swings and pops it up. Now with the sun coming out, maybe a little tougher play, but the second baseman, Abner DeJesus, drifts back and makes the catch for out number 1. And I'll bring up Dylan Nedved. Dylan 0 for 5 in the first game. Struck out once, did score a run, reached on a couple of errors. Dylan now hitting .319. Those are updated numbers, 9 home runs and 60 driven in. It's a ground ball up the middle. Nice grab by the shortstop, Lord. He'll pour it across in time. 2 pitches and 2 out. And that'll bring up Zane Schmidt. Schmidt had a good first game, 2 for 4, drove in a run, walked once, scored 3. He drove in his league-leading 65th RBI. Schmidt now hitting .389 for the year, 20 home runs and at 65 driven in for the series. Zane's 2 for 8. Strike called. Todd Segwig behind the plate. Jay Sanderson at first. Scott Schartz at third, their umpiring crew for this one. A giant outside for a ball. The winner goes to Wichita. And they will play the Fort Scott Seward County winner at 4 p.m. on Wednesday at X Stadium. Fort Scott won the opening game 8-0. Seward leads early game 2, 1-0. Big cut by Zane, foul back, and it's quickly 1-2. Pratt forced a game 3 at City Ballpark in Arc City, defeating the Cali Tigers 13-6. They're getting ready to play game 3 right now. Cloud County has completed a sweep of Allen, winning 14-4 in 8 innings today. So Cloud County, for the first time in their program history, will play in Wichita. Another foul ball by Zane Schmidt, and it's 1-2. Yesterday, Barton completed the sweep of Kansas City. They're the lowest seed to advance so far. Butler, the 3 seed, has swept Neosho County, winning 8-0 today. The pitch. Called strike 3 right down the chute. And it's a 1-2-3, bottom of the first for Hutchinson. We head to the second, game 3. Dragons nothing, Cardinals nothing. No score through 1. Each pitcher, Miguel Reyes for the Blue Dragons and Caden Alexander will work 1-2-3 innings. It's the middle third here for Labette. The third baseman, Justin Perez, 1 for 5 in game number 1 today, game number 2 of the series. Big Reyes into the wind and misses with the slider low and outside, ball 1. Perez 2 for 7 with the double and a run scored so far in the first 2 games. Good fastball from Reyes. It's a strike on the outside corner, and the count evens at 1-1. Miguel just made his decision to go to New Mexico. Sounds like they're going to try to work him into a closer. Fastball lifted to center field, now toward right center. Jeremiah Caesar has it measured and makes the catch for out number 1. Now the designated hitter, Evan Jacoby. He was the game 2 starter, game 1 today. He was a starting pitcher and the losing pitcher. Went 2 2/3 innings. Did not hit in game number 2 of the series. Reyes misses outside with the ball. Yesterday, Evan Jacoby was 0 for 3 with a walk. There's a swing and a foul tip. That caught a good chunk of Max McGuire. And he's in a little bit of discomfort. Todd Segwig giving him a moment. Ryan Schmidt's going to come out and check on his sophomore catcher. The clouds are starting to break as they were supposed to. Remember, if you were with us on the broadcast yesterday, we panned over to the river to show you how high it was. It's a lot lower today. You can see almost the entirety of that green railing that I'm looking at. So the Arkansas River is dropping. Here's the pitch. Fastball from Reyes outside, 2-1 to Jacoby. Labette trying to make its first ever trip to Wichita since this program switched formats the region switched formats in 2004. 3-1 now. Used to be the top 6 teams out of each division of the Jayhawk would play its own tournament, 6-team sub-regionals. Here's the 3-1. Big swing and a miss by Jacoby, and the count is full. Those sub-regional winners would then weed in a best-of-3 series. They would rotate sides every year. 3-2 pitch. Ground ball right side past the diving Baxley. And Labette has its first hit of the game. Pitch was out and away, and Jacoby just jerked it to the right side. So it's a 1-out single for Tate Saldana, the right fielder. So Don in the first two games, 1 for 7. 0 for 3 with a walk in the earlier game this afternoon. Reyes' pitch. That one's looped into center coming on. Caesar, he makes the catch. Going to try to double up the runner. Baxley knocks the throw down. Reyes and McGuire over backing up to play, but Jeremiah Caesar showing his speed again in center field to get out number 2. Now Rustin Postier, the game 1 hero for the Labette Cardinals. A 2-out, 2-run double in the top of the 8th yesterday. That gave Labette at that time a 4-2 lead. Cardinals won 4-3. Reyes' pitch. Upstairs, ball 1. Postier, 1 for 3 in the first game, scored a run. 2 for 7 in the series, a double and 2 RBIs. Slices this one foul back out of play. And the count evens at 1-1. Dragons trying to repeat what they did 1 year ago right here at Hobart-Detter Field. Hutchinson lost the first game last year to Coffeyville 6-1, rallied to win the next 2, and advanced to Wichita. That one's toward the gap, right center field. Nobody's going to get to this one. Rounding third is Jacoby. Caesar gets to it quickly and will hold Jacoby at third. And it's 2-out trouble for the Dragons here in the second. We talked about all the 2-out. Every run scored by the Labette Cardinals, 8 runs in the first 2 games, they've all come with 2 out. And Miguel Reyes has had a huge problem with that this year. Reyes' pitch. A little bit high with the slider, ball 1. Overall, Miguel Reyes is allowing a .248 batting average against. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1. That number with 2 out goes up extremely high. Reyes with 2 out, allowing a .330 batting average and 29 hits. 1-1. Slider catches the inside corner strike, and it's 1-2. Over the last 21 games now, Blue Dragon pitchers have allowed 45 2-out runs. 1-2 pitch. Curveball, fouled off to the right. It remains 1-2. It's been a problem over the last 3 years for Hutchinson pitching. They just have had problems getting off the field with two outs. 1-2 pitch. Fastball low and away. 2-2. And you're never going to be perfect. You're never going to get every 2-out situation your way. But just the number of runs given up this year on 2 outs is really enormous. And it's hurt the Blue Dragon staff to an extent. 2-2 pitch. Curveball, strike him out, and the inning is over. So Miguel Reyes wins that 2-out outing against DeJesus. A couple of hits for the Cardinals, and they strand 2 after an inning and a half. Dragons nothing, Cardinals nothing. Bottom of the second at Hobart-Detter Field. Game number 3, the decisive game number 3 for the Blue Dragons. Labette won the first game yesterday 4-3. The Blue Dragons returned today with a 13-4 win. They only had 5 hits yesterday, 11 in the first game. Only 2 for extra bases, a double by Zion Bolin and a home run by Zion Bolin. Riley Metzger will lead it off against Caden Alexander here to start the second. The righty into the wind, the pitch. In for a strike. Metzger, 1 for 3 in the first game, walked twice and scored 3 runs. Riley, 2 for 6 in the series, has scored 4. A pitch low. And the count is 1-1. Outfield straight away for Metzger. He has a home run in the series. The pitch. Get the fastball outside corner from Alexander, and it's 1-2. This entire Labette staff works both ways, both as starters and. But there's a high fly ball, center field and deep. This has a chance, and it's gone. Just where he hit it yesterday. Dead center field, and the Dragons have a 1-0 lead on Riley Metzger's 9th home run and 49th RBI of the year. He's absolutely obliterated 2 pitches in this series. It's Hutch's first hit of game number 3. Also, more importantly, gives them the lead, 1-0. Now Zion Bolin. Huge game for Bolin in the first game today. Game number 2 of the series. Drove in 6. 3 for 5, 2 runs scored, 6 RBIs, a double, and Hutchinson's 3rd grand slam of the season. Ball 1 to Zion. Playing right field in this one. He started at the third base and moved out to right in game number 2. Big cut, and that one rattles around the roof of the venerable ballpark known as Hobart-Detter Field. And I am once again joined by Dan Nacarado. Just on cue, he walks in the press box and Riles goes deep to center.
That's the way it always works. I should probably leave the press box and come back a few times during every game.
Here's a 1-1 curveball pulled foul. Again, not a lick of movement from third base coach Jamel Cervantes. He probably does that expecting he's not going to get Twitter blasted by Denny Steckline, but we know better.
Coach has become a statue out there in the third base coaching box.
He knows the less movement, the less chance of an error. 1-2 the count to Bolin. He shoots one foul, and that'll rattle just to the left of the Labette dugout. And the clouds are starting to disappear. The sun is out here at Hobart-Detter.
The sun has definitely come out, and it is a very comfortable, I don't know, probably 68 degrees right now.
Not much wind either. 1-2 pitch.
What would that be in Celsius, Coach Knapp?
Ball high, 2-2. Denny Steckline throwing metric conversion questions at Dan Nacarado.
I think you divide by 2 and add 7.
Here's the 2-2.
I'm going to say it's 41 Celsius.
Pitch misses, and it's a full count. You never know what kind of conversations are going to happen in the Hobart-Detter press box.
That's the kind of life we live around here. Every day's a holiday.
Count is full to Zion Bolin.
What was it? 20 degrees
Wind
Celsius.
in the payoff. One's lifted high to right field, playable low for Tate Saldano. He's got it for out number 2.
Maybe it's divide by 2 and subtract.
Check that out, number 1. My apologies. Here is Zach Baxley, the first baseman. Bax is 1 for 3 in the first game. Scored a run. First offering from Alexander is a strike called. back so far in the first 2 games of the series. 1 for 5. He's scored a couple of runs. Been aggressive on the base paths. The 0-1. Breaking pitch a little bit low. Count even at 1-1. Dragons with a 1-0 lead on Riley Metzger's solo home run to lead off this inning. It was his 9th of the year and 49th RBI. The pitch. Breaking pitch inside, and it's 2-1. The winner goes on to Wichita. They'll play at 4 o'clock on Wednesday against the Fort Scott Seward County winner. Good swing by Bax, back to the netting. Now it's 2-2.
4 o'clock Wednesday. That's good. That's good baseball time.
It's good baseball time. I got to be there anyway, so the Dragons might as well come with me.
Are you staying for all games again this year?
Yes, I am the official scorer for the 16th straight year.
Nobody does it better.
Started out with Randy Stang and Tom Sy, and it's kind of been my baby ever since. 2-2 pitch. Well hit to left, but it's going to be caught by the left fielder.
He hit
Josh
it just a little bit too well. If he wouldn't have hit it quite so well, it would have dropped in for a single. But he hit it right on the button.
So after the Metzger home run, 2 pretty hard-hit balls to the outfield caught for outs. Now it's Ryan Moritz. Mo in game number 2 earlier today. He had a nice day. 2 for 3, 3 RBIs. That's a career high for him. Ties his career high. Walked twice.
Nice crowd assembling here at Hobart-Detter Field this afternoon.
Pitch low and away for a ball.
What's more to like? Beautiful weather, great baseball.
You bet.
Tell you what, junior college baseball may be the most entertaining of all levels of baseball.
Never a dull moment. Here's a 1-0 right through there for a strike from Alexander, and it's 1-1 to Moritz. Mo hitting .315 for the year. These are updated numbers. 2 home runs, 24 driven in. Getting 3 RBIs in the game earlier this afternoon. 1-1 pitch. Big cut and miss by Moritz, and now it's 1-2. Dylan Nedved was the winning pitcher in game 2. Went 6 innings, gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. He struck out 6 and walked 2. 1-2 pitch here. It's a called strike 3 inside corner. Mo didn't think so, but the inning is over. But the leadoff home run by Metzger. The only tally of the inning. 1 run, 1 hit, nobody left. After 2 in game number 3, the Dragons 1 and the Cardinals nothing. Miguel Reyes out for his 3rd inning with a 1-0 lead. This decisive game number 3, Steve Carpenter and Dan Nacarado joining me today. Always a pleasure, Coach Knack.
Thank you for having me, Carp. It's a great day for baseball.
Here's Dante Federico, the 9-hole hitter, leading off the bottom of the 3rd. Federico threw a couple of walks and scored a couple of runs in game number 1. Reyes misses low. Federico in the series is 0 for 5, but he scored a couple of runs, walked 3 times, and struck out 4. Strike called, and it's 1-1. Dragons trying to repeat what they did 1 year ago right here. Ooh. Pitch a little bit low. Hutch Dropped the first game last year to Coffeyville. Then first, a fly ball left center field. Pretty well hit. Caesar on the run. So is Riley Metzger. And Riley makes the catch in left center field for out number 1.
Well played by Riley. That ball was slicing back towards him, and that gave him the opportunity to chase it down in the left center gap.
1 year ago, Coffeyville beat Hutchinson game 1 6-1. The Dragons took game 2 7-2. And then the Dragons scored a couple of runs in the bottom of the 7th for a 4-3 win in game 3.
That was exciting.
Indeed it was. Landon Lord can't check on a swing on a slider from Reyes, and it's strike 1 to the Labette leadoff hitter. The 0-1 pitch. That slider bounces in.
High school regional baseball action will be here at Hobart-Detter at 5 o'clock on Monday.
Indeed it will.
Wichita South comes to face the Hutchinson Salthawks.
1-1 pitch. Up and a little bit tight, and it's 2-1.
Hobart-Detter sees a lot of action, Carp.
It does. It does. Last weekend, at least 7 games I know of on this field for a youth tournament. 2-1 pitch.
A lot of history
Inside.
in this ballpark.
3-1. 91st year of existence for Hobart-Detter. Monarchs.
Actually 1 year older than Hutchinson Community College.
Indeed it is. Here's the 3-1. I want to hit the right field on the chase. It's bowling. He won't get to it. A one-hop the wall. Lord headed for second, and he's in with a one-out double.
Well struck to right center field. Well placed right between the center fielder and the right fielder.
That's the 4th hit of the afternoon for Lord, his second for extra bases. Now Josh Praley, the left fielder, he grounded out to short his first time. Lord at second, 1 away. Dragons leading 1-0 here in the 3rd. This one's scheduled for 9.
Is this going to be another one of those innings where the Blue Dragons score in the bottom of the inning and then at the top of the next inning, Labette comes back and puts something on the board?
Yeah, it's been an unnerving feature of this series. Pitch a little bit low for Reyes. They did it 3 times yesterday. They did it twice more today, did the Cardinals, after the Dragons scored. And Labette has never gone 1-2-3 in that next inning after a Dragon run. 1-0. Now back off to the left. Again, we were talking, first game we were talking about all the 2-out runs scored.
How many?
Against the Dragons. That's now 45 in 21 games.
45 in 21 games with 2 outs. That's just that's a strange statistic.
It's been a 3-year trend for the Dragon pitching staff. The Dragons, in their own right, have excelled with 2 outs this year. 1-1. Slider misses outside for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike to count.
In some respects, it's easier to have a big inning with 2 outs because the base runners are going on contact.
One of the biggest innings in Blue Dragon history every one of it came with 2 out. 10-run, 2-out rally against Dodge City several years ago. That was the advent of the rally train. 2-1 pitch. Inside, 3-1. First base is open. Based on the number 2 hitter in the order for the Cardinals. Here's the 3-1 to Praley. Bounces in, ball 4. Lord thought about going, but it was a clean pick behind the plate by McGuire.
Lord read the pitch in the dirt and did a good job of giving him an opportunity to go to third, but Blue Dragon, as you said, Carp, catcher fielded it cleanly.
Tough situation here for the Dragons. Now their best hitter for Labette comes up, and Drew White, the 3rd leading hitter in the Jayhawk. He struck out swinging. He's had a quiet series.
Dragons have handled him pretty well.
White now 1 for 9 with 5 strikeouts in the series, but he comes up with the tying run at first base and 1 out. The pitch. Off speed, offering in for a strike, inner half.
Blue Dragons have done a good job of pitching him ahead. They're getting that first pitch across for a strike, and then they nibble on the outside corner and get him to chase.
Ryan Summers starts throwing in the Dragon pen. You knew Miguel would be on a short leash. The pitch. Slider in the dirt. That one kicks away, and everybody's going to move up 90 feet. So now the go-ahead run at second base with one out.
But it was
an 0-2 count to White.
It was a good idea, though, by Reyes as he followed the same successful menu that the Dragons have been using.
Miguel has always had tremendous stuff. He was an 8-game winner last year. Here's the 0-2.
Tried
Slider.
to get him to chase.
White lays off, and it's 1-2. Good stop. That's now the 50th. That was the 50th pitch delivered by Miguel Reyes. It's probably one of the reasons why New Mexico, who he just signed with, going to work with him and make him a closer.
Yeah, that's a good role for him. Never know, it could change, but as of now, that looks like a good opportunity for him.
Here's the 1-2. In the dirt again. Another slider. Counted 2-2. Right now, even though you have first base open, if you're going to go after Drew White, you want to make it happen here on 2-2. You don't want to wait till 3-2 where you've got to come flush.
Put a fastball about belt high, 4 inches off the outside corner.
Reyes out of the stretch comes set. Here's the 2-2. Foul back.
That's pretty much what the Blue Dragons attempted to do and just got a little bit too much of the plate.
Outfield straight away for Drew White. Here's the 2-2. Another slider way outside, full count.
Yeah, he's missed outside and in the dirt for the last three of the last 4 pitches.
It's out to full count to White. Runners at second and third, 1 out. Here's the payoff. Lost him, ball 4, and the bases are loaded with 1 out.
He was very cautious, and that's probably a good idea with a hitter of that caliber at the plate.
Quite likely pitched around White. Now you go from a 420 hitter in White to a 231 hitter in Justin Perez, and that will have Ryan Schmidt come to the mound. Again, Ryan Summers in the pen. This is a big moment.
Opportunity to turn 2 to get out of the inning.
Just out of curiosity, let me check here. Miguel Reyes has induced 3 ground ball double plays this year.
This would be a good situation for the 4th.
Meeting's broken up. So a big moment in this one. The Dragons leading 1-0, but Cardinals have the bases loaded and 1 out here in the 3rd. Perez flew out to center field his first time up, right to the wall. Fastball, low ball 1.
Didn't miss by much.
55 pitches, 30 for strikes for Reyes. Working out of the windup with the bases loaded. That's right down Peachtree for a strike.
That was a good idea to just challenge him.
1 out in the inning. Here's a pitch. Nice breaking pitch inside for a strike, and it's 1-2.
Almost unhittable. Perfect pitch.
Now we'll see how they work him here up in the count, the 1-2 pitch. Slider, he went around. That strikeout, out number 2. That's the stuff you see from Miguel Reyes. He has got one of the all-time, just in terms of raw stuff, he may be one of the best all-time pitchers in Blue Dragon history.
Yeah, I think there's been other pitchers for the Blue Dragons maybe who could overpower batters, but you're right. He's got some amazing movement.
Now Evan Jacoby, the designated hitter, he singled his first time up, first hit of the series. Grounded it through the right side. There's that slider. He's foul tipped it. Strike one. Against left-handed batters this year, Reyes allowing a 276 average. Against righties, 239. The 0-1. Pitch in the dirt. Good stop by McGuire. That saved the tying run.
Definitely.
You get nervous, and again, you weren't here for the first inning. When Reyes pitches inside, he is prone to hitting batters. He's hit 11 this year. 1-1. Slice foul off to the left, and now Reyes is a strike away from getting out of the jam.
Some of the most effective pitchers, though, are just a little bit wild, just enough to keep the batters off base.
Now the 1-2 from Reyes. Got him swinging, and the inning is over.
Wow, that was an impressive way to battle out of a bases-loaded one-out jam.
After a one-out double and back-to-back walks, Miguel Reyes strikes out Perez and Jacoby, and the Cardinals leave them loaded in the third. After 2.5, Dragons 1, Cardinals nothing.
Danny, we're going to score 13. None for big legs.
Miguel Reyes steps up at the occasion and gets a pair of strikeouts with the bases loaded and one out. Now the Dragons can try to give him a little bit of run support. 1-0 bottom of the third. It's McGuire, Caesar, and Sartori. Steve Carpenter and Dan Nacarado with you on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. The decisive third game of this Region 6 opening round series from Hobart-Detter Field. The Dragons won the first game this afternoon. The fourth game, 13-4. Caden Alexander back to the mound and goes off speed with Max McGuire wide for ball one. Max earlier today, 1 for 5 with an RBI single. McGuire 1 for 8 in the series. Swings and hits one to right field. Drifting back is Saldano, slowing down short of the track. He makes the catch for out number 1. Another fly ball out. Only 1 ground ball out today, 2 strikeouts and 4 fly ball outs. And Knack, you and I were talking about just how many fly ball outs this team has hit in 2019.
Well, I guess we'll have to accept some of those to go along with all those home runs the Blue Dragons have
Now
hit this
79 home runs. Here's Caesar, 0 for 4 in the first game. Fouls one off to the left.
Caesar, one of the fastest Blue Dragons.
I would like to see him and Mel in his prime. Jamel Cervantes. That'd be a good race. That one went all the way over the head of everybody at home plate and hits off the backstop. And, of course, everybody says it hit the bull, a la Bull Durham. That's the way it should be. You have to say it. It's a baseballism. 1-1. Once hit to center field. Federico drifts back and makes the catch.
That ball carried further than Federico expected it to. It was a laser.
You get a summer's worth of work with him with Jamel Cervantes. He's going to be hitting a lot more on the ground next year. He was slated as a starting center fielder at the start of the year, but just his propensity for striking out and fly ball outs has really limited his time. 2 up and 2 down for Logan Sartori. He popped up his first time, a notorious first ball hitter. Takes this pitch upstairs, ball 1.
That was a hard one to lay off of.
I've seen him chase that many, many times this year.
Up around the chest, but dead center on the plate.
Alexander into the wind, the 1-0. Inside hit him.
That one hurt. That
Now,
one caught him in the wrist area.
you hope he's okay. That is a spot where injury can happen.
I think it got him in his right hand, right arm.
He heads to first with 1 out, and Logan Sartori's in some discomfort.
He's definitely in pain, but he's a tough young man. Good athlete.
Sartori hit for the 12th time this year, and that is hit by pitch number 93 for the Blue Dragons. And that does get him into the top 10 list. They are now tied for 10th all time, the 2019 Blue Dragons. Here's Dylan Nedved. Nedved now 0 for his last 10 since he led off the series with a double yesterday. Runner goes on the first pitch. Nedved hits one to center field and deep. And going back to the center fielder, it's over his head off the wall. Sartori already making the turn at third. And he will score without a play. And Dylan Nedved doubles in Sartori to make it 2-0.
Sartori had a huge jump. I don't know whether that was a hit and run or a stolen base attempt, but he had a huge jump, that's for sure.
Nedved with our double number 14 and RBI number 61.
I think he probably would have scored from first base even if he had not been going, but it certainly made it easy for him to get all the way home.
Now 2 hits in the game. Here's Zane Schmidt, who took a called third his first time up. Steve Kappman's got the rally cap, the shake cap down.
Zane's going to go yard this game.
Strike one outside
I'm just going to go
corner.
ahead and call it right now.
Schmidt a league high 20 home runs. Now a league high 65 RBIs. Not even close. This is what's scary. 65 RBIs isn't even close to the single season top 10. He needs another 10 RBIs to get into the single season top 10. That's how many good players have come through this program. 1-0 outside. Is it 2 or 1-1, Knack?
I think it's 2-0.
I think it might be 2. I think I hit the wrong button on the computer. Nope, it is 1-1.
Oh.
1-1 the count, lefty-righty matchup. Lefty Schmidt awaits the delivery. There's a high fly to center.
That could be the
Drifting
one.
back is Federico. He's at the fence and makes the catch right up against the wall, and the inning is over. That's twice. Hit to this afternoon, Zane Schmidt has put an outfielder up against the wall to end the inning. But the Dragons get a RBI double from Dylan Nedved, scoring Logan Sartori. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 left. And after 3, it is the Blue Dragons 2 and the Cardinals nothing. Couple of scorers from around the Jayhawk, or Region 6 in this instance. Coffeyville wins a slugfest with Colby in Game 2, defeating the Trojans 17-14. And the Trojans, I believe, had to was up 9 or 10 runs in that game. Lose at 17-14. That's a game number 3 to be had. Getting set to start. Fort Scott now leads Seward County 2-1, top 5 in Fort Scott. The Greyhounds looking for a sweep. Here it's 2-0, and it's a ball 2 to Tate Saldana. So you know Miguel Reyes is on a very, very short leash right now. Jam shot pulled foul. Ryan Summers throwing back of Reyes in the bullpen. Barton has advanced. Pratt and Cowley in a game 3. Cloud has advanced. Butler has advanced. Johnson County has advanced. That one fouled off the foot of Saldana. Now it's 2-2.
Who won the 17-14 game?
Coffeyville beat Colby.
Coffeyville beat Colby. That doubleheader may take 13 hours.
And Colby has an 8-hour ride on the way home, or Coffeyville has an 8-hour drive home. They may spend the night. 2-2 the count to Saldana. The pitch. Called strike 3. One away. That is now strikeout number 5. And indeed, Miguel Reyes Jr. now with 129 strikeouts is number 4 all-time in Blue Dragon history.
Congratulations, Miguel.
Now Rustin Postier, he's singled. Back in the second. His 3rd hit of the series. First pitch swinging. He lifts one to right field. Zion Bolin coming in, now slowing down. Makes the catch for out number 2. Postier 1 for 2. That'll bring up Abner DeJesus, the second baseman, who struck out in the second with a couple of runners on in scoring position. DeJesus now 1 for 9 or 1 for 8 in the series. Fastball strike called. Again, Todd Segweg behind the plate. Jay Sanderson at first. Scott Schartz at third. Your umpiring crew in this one. That's slider. Where our camera set up, you probably got a really good look at just how much that slider moves from Miguel Reyes. That thing is just absolutely nasty. Here's the 1-1. Fastball swung through and missed. 1-2. Reyes gets the sign from McGuire, the pitch. Little tapper right back to Reyes. He'll underhand flip to first. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Miguel Reyes in the 4th. That's 5 in a row retired for the big guy. No runs, no hits, no errors. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Dragons 2, Cardinals nothing. Two nothing. Hutchinson with the lead, hitting bottom half of the 4th in game number 3. Middle third of the order for the Blue Dragons against Caden Alexander, who's pitched well for the Labette Cardinals. He's allowed 2 runs on just 2 hits.
He's been pitching to contact.
Metzger homered his first time up. Gave the Dragons a 1-0 lead. Second home run of the series, and both went to the same spot, dead center field. Alexander starts him up with a breaking pitch outside for ball 1.
What are my options? Snapback's one that kind of always brings out some people.
The pitch outside 2-0. Really, for the first time today, Knack, we see the flag in left center field with a little bit of movement.
Yeah, it's just a nice, gentle breeze. Couldn't ask for anything better.
Here's the 2-0. Right down the middle for a strike. 2-1 to Riley, a sophomore from Stillwater.
And Kurt wants the Ghostbusters theme song.
Here's the 2-1. Big cut and a miss by Riley, and it's 2-2. Steve Capman could have his own stand-up tour. He's cracked us some good ones today. Our assistant athletic director.
So I'm not on the mic.
You need an open mic night.
No.
You got good stuff. Here's 2-2 pitch. In the dirt, ball 3.
When you talk about people who are trustworthy, caring, capable, committed, Steve Kappenman immediately comes to mind.
Shout outs to them.
I am always proud of him because he was on my very first stat crew at Hutchinson Community College. Now the payoff pitch to Metzger. Alexander to the line, the pitch. Got him swinging, one away.
He chased that one a little bit high and away.
And again, that goes to pitch selection and bat discipline. Dragons have their moments when they're locked in, and a lot of times they haven't been this year.
Baseball is such a difficult sport that I tell you don't want to make it even harder by swinging at pitches that are out of the zone.
Now Bolin. He's hit safely in 10 of his last 11. Career high 6 RBIs earlier this afternoon. The pitch. Strike at the knees.
Baseball is the epitome of a sport that looks easier than it is.
You try to square up a round object with a round object, coming at you at about 90 miles per hour. The pitch.
The reaction time is just infinitesimal.
1-1 out of Bolin. That pitch high from Alexander. Outfield straight away and deep for Bolin at all 3 positions. Here's the 1-1. Breaking pitch, a beauty from Alexander. It's a strike at the belt. And Bolin down to the count 1-2.
Carp, you moved over to Hutchinson Community College how many years ago?
I am in my 15th season.
15. And of those 15, how many years have the Blue Dragons qualified for
1-2 pitch in the dirt.
the final 8 in the region?
They have been, I'll tell you here right now, they have gotten through 7 times, looking for their 8th. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Low, full count.
It's been 2 or 3 trips to the World Series.
2. 3 Region 6 championships. That group with
Oh,
Jim,
that's right.
Jim Preston and Cliff Ray won it in the first year of the program in 75. And then they had to play a by-district best-of-3 series with Lamar and lost in 2 games. Then it was 30 years before the next Region 6 championship, and there's some good teams in between. Here's a payoff pitch to Bolin called strike 3, and Zion knew it.
Good pitch.
Alexander has now rung up 4 strikeouts, back-to-back strikeouts here in the 4th, and here's Zach Baxley. Bax has flown out to left his first time up. 1 for 6 in the series. Still scuffling mightily. 3 for his last 28 now for Bax. Hits this one hard to the right side, but fielded by DeJesus. And it's a very quiet 1, 2, 3, 4th inning for the Blue Dragons into the 4th. We head to the 5th. Dragons 2 and the Cardinals nothing. On to the fifth inning here at Hobart-Detter Field.
This game's moving rapidly.
It really is.
Moving rapidly because it's so well pitched.
Miguel Reyes and Caden Alexander locked into a good 1-4, just 5 combined hits. Dragons with single runs in the second and the third. Now Dante Federico's fouls one at the plate. Federico flew out to left his first time. It was a good running catch by Riley Metzger. 73 pitches now for Reyes, 44 for strikes. Big righty kicks him, fires, hard hit ball. Nice diving stop by Sartori, but he can't make the transfer clean. It'll be an infield single for Federico, and that'll be his first hit of the series.
Sartori showed a lot of maturity and good judgment by just hanging on to that baseball instead of attempting a throw that could have very easily gone wild.
Now Labette's hottest hitter of the series, and Landon Lord. He doubled his last time up. 1 for 2 here in game number 3, and he is 4 for 11 in the series with 2 doubles. Change up from Reyes, inside corner, a strike.
In the bullpen, Ryan Summers' pitch count is now about 300, I think. He's throwing with a little bit more urgency right now.
The pitch. He went around on the slider, and it's 0-2.
Honestly, I haven't seen any indication that Miguel is becoming ineffective. He's looking strong on the mound.
He sure is. Dragons have rolled 3 double plays in the first 2 games of the series. The pitch. Ooh. Good fastball. Good miss. That's what they call a good miss on 0-2. It was off the plate, but
If the count is anything other than 0-2, that's a strike.
quite possibly. But that's also going to give Lord something to think about on this 1-2 offering. Slider misses low, 2-2. You almost knew he was going to come back with the slider. It's just a matter of, was he going to put it in the spot where it would entice Lord to go? It wasn't. Now it's 2-2. Reyes comes set. Here's the pitch. Another slider, full count. The slider right now really been a struggle for Reyes. He's thrown some nasty ones, but not consistently enough to really make it a good pitch. Runner goes. There's a line shot. Caught by Moritz. This is going to be an unassisted double play.
The fact that the runner was going took Moritz straight to the ball on his way to second base.
An unassisted double play for Moritz. That's his third DP of the afternoon. So now base is empty, 2 away.
That
Here's
hit ball.
Praley.
That hit ball just caught him right in stride.
Strike 1 to Praley outside corner. Praley is walked and grounded out. The 0-1. Right down the chute for a strike. Good fastball from Reyes, and it's 0-2.
Mixing up his pitches very well.
The big righty into the line, the pitch. Fouled off. Reyes is not afraid to pitch inside. He makes me a little bit nervous sometimes, especially with just the movement. Just the natural movement makes me nervous a little bit. The 0-2 pitch. Got him swinging, and the inning is over. So Miguel Reyes gives up a single, then induces a line-out double play and strikes out Praley, and he faces the minimum in the 5th. We're halfway through in game number 3. Dragons 2 and the Cardinals nothing. Name another ballpark in the state of Kansas where you can get a little Billy Joel between innings. The Piano Man, nice. Steve Carpenter and Dan Nacarado back on the network.
I think yesterday was Billy Joel's 70th birthday.
Wow. Ryan Morris laid it off. Mo's had a nice day defensively, not too bad of a day offensively. 3 RBIs in the first game, and he just completed his third double play of the afternoon, unassisted variety in the top of the fifth. Now he leads off here in the bottom. Goes first pitch hacking and fouls off Caden Alexander's 52nd pitch of the afternoon. Mo struck out his first time. Moritz now 3 for 6 in the series. He's walked 4 times. Pitch slowing in. That's one thing you like to see out of Mo when he's going good. He is taking a lot of walks and seeing pitches well, but there's not a walk to be had when he's in one of his tail spins. 1-1 pitch. Good 12-6 curve from Alexander for a strike. Moritz hits from a 1-2 hole. It is Moritz, McGuire, and Caesar here in the fifth. And the 1-2. Fastball misses wide. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Moritz. That fastball is ranging 85, 88.
I think so. Probably going to see the same pitch, 2-2, as you will 3-2. Let's see what happens here.
2-2 pitch. Grounded to the right side back. It's through the glove, and that'll be a base hit for Moritz.
Well, we won't find out if it's going to be the same pitch.
Rustin Postier gave it a good try. And if he was a left-handed throwing first baseman, he probably makes the play, but the glove had to cross over the body.
I think McGuire has been calling his own game behind the plate, hasn't he, Carp?
He has, and that's usually Ryan Schmidt's call. He lets the catchers call the games.
That's a pretty good indication of confidence in a player when a coach will put the game into his hands.
McGuire flew out to right his first time up against Alexander. Mo safe lead at first. Max showing a bunt, pulls back and takes high and in, ball 1. Max does not have a sacrifice this year. Doesn't mean he can't bunt. The Dragons themselves only have 10 sacrifice bunts for the season. That is awfully low.
It has been a free-swinging ball club this year.
72 steals, and that's low for this time of year. They had a lot of steals over the first 30 games of the year. Pitch outs or move over to first.
There are so many hitters that show good power in this lineup that I can see why you wouldn't want to risk trying to steal a base.
Alexander comes set the 1-0. That one's ripped to center field. It's going to hang up, though, for the center fielder, Federico, for out number 1.
Hit it right on the button.
Name another sport, Coach Nax, that you can do everything you're supposed to do and still not have success.
Golf.
Okay, you got me there. And Josh Gooch agrees.
Not that I ever did anything the way you're supposed to do it on the golf course.
The thing is, you got that answer really fast. I've never thought about golf in that scenario, but that's exactly right.
They put a tree or a water hazard right where you wanted to hit the ball.
1 on, 1 out for Caesar. First pitch swings and hits one to right field, fairly deep. Drifting back is Saldano. Short of the track, he makes the catch for out number 2. So Moritz led off the inning with a single. Now it's going to be up to Sartori to keep it going. Logan, with 2 out in the third, was hit by a pitch and then went on the first pitch to Dylan Nedved and scored from first on a double to center field, high off the wall.
Sartori's one of my favorite all-time Blue Dragon baseball players. I just like the way he plays the game.
He's headed to Texas A&M next year, following the footsteps of Michael Hellman, pitched low and outside. 2 straight Blue Dragon. Well, I guess he's now a shortstop, but for most of his career, Logan Sartori's been at second. He took over for Michael Hellman, who went to Texas A&M.
It's a pretty good pipeline.
Pretty good pipeline. Both of them out of Lincoln.
Lincoln to Hutchinson to Texas
College
A&M.
Station. College Station, Texas. 2-0 now to Sartori. Dylan Nedved would be next.
Did he just rank him above that Luke Nacarado kid?
He did. He did.
That's what I thought.
No, I didn't rank him. I just said he's one of
He
my
said
all-time
one of.
favorites.
He said one of.
Right up there with Ryan Steckline.
Now the 2-0 to Sartori. Breaking pitch in there for a strike. Good take from Logan. You're up in the count. You can be selective on the pitch you want in that situation. And on 2-0, Alexander delivered a quality breaking ball for a strike. Now the 2-1 to Sartori. Fouled straight back. 2-2.
Took a big swing at that one. Usually players cut down on that swing a little bit with 2 strikes, but Logan got his money's worth on that.
That has not
attempt.
been a concept of the Blue Dragons in 2019. They have not shortened up with 2 strikes. Again, already the 2019 Dragons have the all-time record for strikeouts offensively. 2-2 pitch. Breaking pitch misses high, full count.
We always talk about reaching the Blue Dragon way, hit by pitch. I really thought that might change when Coach Kyle Crooks departed from Hutchinson, but the tradition has continued under Coach Schmidt.
I wish I could say that was a prerequisite in the interviews for the new coaching position back then, but it wasn't. Runner goes. The 3-2 pitch is launched to left, but well foul.
We were on the selection committee for Coach Schmidt, and as I recall, didn't you throw an eraser at him to see if he would let it hit him before we decided whether or not to continue the interview?
I thought about it, but I did not pull the trigger. And it would have been bigger than an eraser. Schmidt in his 7th year with the Blue Dragons.
I think it was about a 90-mile-an-hour eraser.
3-2, 2 out. Moritz goes from first to the pitch. Misses low, ball 4. Didn't miss by much.
That was a quality at bat.
Sartori walks for the 28th time this year. Now it's 2 on, 2 out for Dylan Nedved. Dylan snapped an 0 for 11 with a double high off the wall in center field his last time up.
Picked up the win in Game 1, didn't he?
He also picked up the win in Game 1. Alex Copland, the Labette pitching coach, heads to the mound.
Slowly journeying to the mound.
Not quite Rich Kroll-esque, but it was a pretty slow walk.
Good call. We certainly miss Coach Kroll.
Indeed we do.
He passed away. Has it been about a year ago?
Yes. Yes, that one rocked Reno County.
Certainly did.
Rich was one of the good ones.
Longtime baseball coach at Nickerson High School. Also coached other sports as well and provided Blue Dragon baseball with some pretty good players.
That he did. Noah in 05, Mace in 010. Both of them played in the World Series. I still remember Mace being a little whippersnapper in 05. I guess he wasn't all that little because he was only 5 years from college.
His oldest son, Adam, was a really good baseball player,
Yes, he
too.
was.
Unfortunately, he went to another community college.
One we won't mention. That has already advanced to Wichita. Now 2 on, 2 out for Nedved. Dragons have come up with a couple of 2-out RBIs in this one. Or actually one. Metzger's was a leadoff home run. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Good knockdown by the catcher, Drew White. Moritz thought about it for a moment, but then thought better of it. And the ball was right at White's feet, so it was a good read by Moritz. And then also a good read behind him by Sartori because he's got to make sure Moritz goes before he makes a move. The rules of base running. It's base running 101. Make sure you know what the guy in front of you is doing.
That's created problems for many teams throughout history.
1-1 pitch in the dirt, scooped up again by White, and everybody stays put. But it's 2-0 to Nedved.
Can be embarrassing when two runners converge on the same bag.
Nedved will be an Iowa Hawkeye next year, and I've already told him that when the Hawkeyes come to Lincoln, I'm going to drive up to Haymarket Park and heckle him.
Well, that'll probably help him play better.
Here's the 2-0. Misses low, 3-0.
Where do you see him playing at Iowa?
Third base.
Third base is
Third base is his natural position.
That's good.
There's now action in the Fort Scott pen. And is Cale Crutchfield, a left-handed sophomore from Collinsville, Oklahoma. Here's a 3-0. And Nedved walks to load the bases for Zane Schmidt.
Okay, he's come close the last couple of opportunities. This might be the one. He's going yard today.
This will be an opportune time. We've already had one grand slam today off the bat of Zion Bolin.
Zane Schmidt probably knows the strike zone as well as any player I've ever seen. He very, very rarely chases off the plate.
In this latest slump, he has been. That's the thing. He's been chasing up and letting a lot of pitches on the inner half.
Maybe that 20 home runs kind of altered his approach a little bit. Sometimes that can happen.
Alexander will pitch out of the windup, pitch way outside and high, ball one. 2-0 Dragons, bottom of the fifth.
Now, if Zane can work his way into a 3-1 count, I'm gonna just ring up those 4 runs.
Double-barreled action now in the Fort Scott pen. Here's the 1-0 to Schmidt. Inside 2-0.
3-1 count, bases loaded. If he can work his way to that count, send someone on the other side of the fence to pick up the ball.
In addition to Crutchfield, Creighton Sylvain, who got the save yesterday, is throwing in the Labette bullpen, a righty and a lefty. The 2-0 to Schmidt. Outside 3-0.
Coach Gooch, I not only call the shot, I call the count he's going to do it on. You don't want it to be too easy.
And don't count it. Don't bet against Coach Knack here. 3-0. I doubt the green light's on, but we'll see. Here's the cripple. Right down the chute for a strike, 3-1.
All right, don't take your eyes off that monitor now as you're watching Blue Dragon Sports Network. Brandon, get ready to move the camera.
Dragons with just 3 hits on the afternoon, but they lead 2-0. Big moment here. Bases loaded, 3-1 count. Alexander to Zane Schmidt. Is a pitch and a high pop.
It's out of here.
It is out of play to the left. Wrong fence.
Darn, I got confused.
So now we've gone as far as we can go. Moritz at third, Sartori at second, Nedved at first. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runners will move on the pitch. And you wonder if Alexander's going to give in to Schmidt and throw one right down the chute. Out of the windup, the runners go. The payoff pitch is lifted to left center field, but playable. Now into left, Fraley makes the catch, and the Dragons leave him loaded.
Well, we'll have to get Zane another shot at it an inning or 2 from now.
No runs, a hit, and 3 left. The Dragons have stranded 4 through 5. We head to the 6th in Game 3. It's a tight one. Dragons 2 and the Cardinals nothing. It's a tight one in game 3. The Dragons lead Labette 2-0. Top of the 6th. Miguel Reyes goes back out. It will be 3, 4, and 5 here in the 6th for the Cardinals. A big inning for Miguel Reyes. Labette's out hit
Oh,
the Blue Dragons 4-3, and
that one ripped towards the third base dugout. The Blue Dragons had to show some dexterity.
Jake Bunn's getting out of the way rather quickly. And pitch in the dirt. It's 1-1. Reyes now 86 pitches. The pitch in the dirt, 2-1. Reyes now 4 hits, no runs, 7 strikeouts, and 2 walks. 132 career strikeouts, 4th most in HCC history. There's a swing and a foul ball off into the parking lot to our right. And it's 2-2.
How many does he need to move up another spot?
I'd have to look.
Oh, you mean I asked a question?
I
you
did.
didn't-
2-2 pitch. And once hit toward the gap right center. Caesar on the run. He won't get to it. And now there's a collision in right center field. And that's going to allow White to pull into second base. A leadoff double.
Have to score that a double.
Oh, yeah, straight double. I can get you that answer fairly quickly.
I just
though.
feel embarrassed that I'm the guy that asked a question you didn't know off the top of your head.
That's the 3rd time this year that's happened. So now the tying run comes to the plate in third baseman Justin Perez. A double by White, just the 2nd hit of the series for the 3rd leading hitter in the Jayhawk Conference. Reyes' pitch. Slider gets through. McGuire back to 3rd. And it's ball 1 now with the runner at 3rd and nobody out. Reyes had a big inning where he had the bases loaded against him and 1 out. Got out of it with a pair of strikeouts. That went high and tight.
That's definitely some chin music.
On pitch number 91. Ryan Summers should be ready in the pen. 2-0 to Perez, the pitch. Inside ball 3. Now it looks like Miguel's overthrowing it. Actually, with 132 strikeouts, he's tied for 4th. I think I said he was alone in 4th. He is tied for 4th now with a couple of pretty good pitchers, Mike Zagurski and Sean Lewick with 132.
Zagurski made it all the way to the Phillies, didn't he?
Yes, he did. That one pulled foul. Reyes works the count full at 3-2 after being behind 3-0. Reyes will work out of the windup. Here's the payoff. Struck him out. That was a fastball up the ladder, and he gets strikeout number 8. Now, with 133 career strikeouts, Miguel Reyes is alone in 3rd place. Next up, Matt Rackers with 147.
147. Well, Reyes could get there in the postseason.
Here's Jacoby. Evan Jacoby takes a strike at the knees. He's 1 for 2. He singled through the right side in the 2nd, struck out in the 3rd. The 0-1. Pitch misses inside, a ball and a strike.
Region 6 tournament, still double elimination.
Indeed it is. And it'll be this year at X Stadium. Again, Lawrence Dumont no longer standing. 1-1 pitch. Took a little something off of it. And it's a 1-2 count now on Jacoby. He swung over the top.
Tomahawk swing at that one.
I'd like to see Reyes go up the ladder on this one. 1-2 pitch. Called. Ooh, whoa.
The press box lets out a collective. Oh.
I was waiting for Todd Segwig to throw the right hand up. It never came. That was a great pitch.
Not sure where that one missed.
Now the 2-2 from Reyes. Struck him out swinging. That was the slider. 2 straight strikeouts.
You'd have to say Reyes dominated that at bat.
Now 9 strikeouts for Miguel. Runner at 3rd, 2 away for right fielder Tate Saldana. Saldana 0 for 2. He lined out to center. Great shoestring catch by Caesar. Did he go around? Yes, he did on the slider. Strike one.
Miguel Reyes definitely has the Labette batters off balance.
Here's the 0-1. That one slider, that good block by McGuire. That slider, especially with a runner through, it puts so much pressure on a catcher. But Max has let one get by today. 1-1 pitch. Slider, he went around again, 1-2. Again, I want to go up the ladder on this one. Fastball up the ladder. The wind and the 1-2. Ooh, close pitch.
Just a little bit outside. I think that one was a good call.
Now 2-2 the count. Labette's out hit Hutch 5-3 in this one. The pitch. Got him swinging, and the inning is over. What an inning by Miguel Reyes Jr. after giving up the leadoff double. And then the wild pitch moving him to third. 3 consecutive strikeouts. Reyes has 10 for the game.
Wow.
And after 5.5, it's the Dragons 2 and the Cardinals nothing. Miguel Reyes, 10 strikeouts through 6. He has gotten out of 2 huge jams in this one and has kept the Labette Cardinals off the scoreboard. Steve Carpenter, Dan Nacarado with you on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. Game 3 of this Region 6 best-of-3 series. Tied at a game apiece, and Hutchinson leads 2-0 home half of the 6th. Riley Metzger will lead it off against Caden Alexander, who's pitched very well in his own right. He's allowed just 3 hits. And Riley Metzger takes a big bending curveball for a strike. Metzger 0 for 2. He led off the second with a home run, struck out swinging. The 0-1. Pulled foul.
Both pitchers exceptionally good this afternoon.
Let's get the numbers on Caden Alexander. 3 hits, 2 earned runs. He has struck out 4 and walked 2, hit a batter. 76 pitches coming into the inning, now 78. There's the 0-2 to Metzger. Fastball outside, a waste pitch, and it's 1-2. Dragons have been at 5-3. So the offense hasn't come around totally yet. 1-2 pitch. Did he go around? No, he did not. Ooh, I think the Dragons caught a break on that one.
I think he was a little fortunate on that appeal to third base.
Scott Shart saying no, and the Labette parents all over him.
3-man umpiring crew for junior college baseball.
In the postseason.
Home plate umpire is...
warning being issued to the Labette dugout.
It's either a warning being issued or a home plate umpire is checking his pocket Bible for scripture, one of the two.
Again, Todd Segwig behind the plate. Jay Sanderson at first. Scott Schartz at third. They've been the crew the entire weekend.
I think Phil Anderson told us that Sanderson used to teach at Hutchinson High School.
After his time on KWCH, working with Bruce Hurdle. 2-2 pitch. That foul off the foot of Riley Metzger.
Did he say he taught there or worked there?
Oh, he taught there.
He did teach there?
He was the journalist, or not the journalist, but the video instructor.
Oh, that's right. Media
instructor, that's it. Built something pretty nice. They got a good department over there at Hutch High in that department. 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3 outside corner.
Tough pitch. Very tough pitch.
So Metzger now 1 for 3, and that'll bring up Zion Bolin. Bolin has flown out to right and got caught looking in the fourth.
Pretty rare to see a 2-0 NJCAA baseball game in the 6th inning.
This deep into a series.
Right.
Usually get the one guns going. They can lock it up pretty good.
Really thought this third game of the series would be a high-scoring affair, but that has not been the case.
Labette's team ERA, 7.24, but they have not pitched like it in this series. There's a 1-0. Hit him.
The Blue Dragon way once again.
Bolin hit with the pitch. Second batter hit in this game.
Carp, this is probably a stupid question, but when you figure ERA for college pitchers, is that based on 9 innings or 7?
9 innings.
Even though half the games are 7 and half the games are 9.
In junior
Roughly.
college, but we figure everything through 9 innings because the postseason's played in 9s.
That makes sense.
So now a runner at first, 1 away for Zach Baxley, who is absolutely due to launch one.
Would you say during the course of the regular season it turns out to be about half and half, 7-inning games, 9-inning games?
Actually, no. They'll play 7-inning games. I would say about 40%, because a lot of early in the year you're not playing a lot of double headers. You're playing a lot of 9-inning games, one in a 3-game series over 3 days. Baxley fouls that one back to the screen.
Although there are some run rule games.
There are some
sprinkled
run
in
rule
there.
games.
But there's also some extra inning games.
Indeed there is. Bolin gets his lead away from first. He is a threat to go. Bolin fakes, and Baxley takes the strike on the outer half, and he's down in the count 0-2. Right there, that tells me Bax I think he's not seeing the ball well right now. His confidence is shaken because he's in a prolonged slump. Now the 0-2. Pitch popped up. It'll get back out of play.
So much mental toughness required to successfully compete as a baseball player. You go through those periods of time.
You do. What was it?
6-5, Fort Scott, top 7.
New update from Fort Scott. They've rallied from a 3-run deficit. Fort Scott leading 6-5, top of the 7th. Game number 2. Fort Scott leads that series over Seward County 1-0. Once again, the 0-2.
And Cowley is pissed. They're up 12-0 in the second.
The Cowley Bats have awoken after Pratt's Game 2 win. Now leading the Beavers 12-0 in the second inning at City Ballpark in Ark City.
They're making a statement on Game 2.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking pitch outside. Bolin tried to coax Drew White into a throw. Now it's 2-2 to Baxley. Ryan Moritz on deck. Zion with 3 steals and 6 attempts. 2-2 pitch. Foul back again. It's turning into a pretty good at bat by Baxley. And usually when you're slumping, you get to an at-bat like this. You may make out in this particular bat, but your confidence level goes up a little bit. You're battling up there. You're having a good at-bat.
The more pitches you see, the more the hitter has an advantage.
2-2. Runner goes. That's a called strike. White drops the ball and couldn't throw down.
He had a chance to get Bolin also because it really wasn't a very good jump. Might have stumbled a little bit the first couple of steps.
He did. Now a runner at second, 2 away for Ryan Moritz. Mo 3 RBIs in the earlier game today, game number 2 of the series. 1 for 2 here.
Well, that's an interesting situation. Looking into the dugout, not sure what that was about.
Mo 4 for 7 in the series now. Again, he's walked 4 times. That's a big-time bonus for a guy who has piled up a lot of strikeouts in his 2 years as a Blue Dragon. Breaking pitch outside, ball 1 to Moritz. I believe Mo is going to be playing for the Cheney Diamond Dogs again this year. Now the 1-0. Outside 2-0.
Before he came up to bat, Alexander looked for a long time into the Labette dugout. Not sure what that meant.
His pitch count up to 93. 52 have been in the zone. Again, the Dragons looking for just their 4th hit of the afternoon. So Alexander, outside of a pitch here and there that's been hit hard, really has kept the Dragons off balance. Big 12-6 curve in for a strike. Taking all the way was Moritz, and now it's 2-1 to the Dragons' second baseman.
Cardinals actually out hitting the Blue Dragons this game, but the Blue Dragons using the long ball and timely hit to score 2 runs.
Big insurance run out at second base. You kind of get the feeling, first the pitch. Mo lays off a pitch just off the outer edge, and it's 3-1. You get the feeling if the Dragons can push across that 3rd run, that
makes a big difference.
It might wilt the spirit of the Cardinals. They have battled hard in this series. Again, they're trying to make it to Wichita for the very first time since the format changed in 2004. Here's the 3-1 to Moritz. Inside, and Ryan Moritz draws his 5th walk of the series. 2 on, 2 out for McGuire. Aaron Keel talking about it with his pitching coach, Alex Copeland. And maybe, is he going to make a move? He puts his clipboard down as such. Garen's going through it in his mind if he's going to pull the trigger or not.
Checking the bullpen to see.
And here he comes. So Aaron Keel will make the slow walk. Aaron, one of the solid dudes in the Jayhawk. He's also the Labette athletic director. No call made yet, but he's going to take the ball from Cade Alexander, and we will have a pitching change.
Well done by Cade Alexander. He couldn't ask for a better performance than he gave.
He kept his team in the game, but he leaves with 2 outs in the 6th, trailing 2-0. We'll tell you about the new Labette pitcher after this break. So Creighton Sylvain comes on and tries to keep the Cardinals in it here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, and Hutchinson leading 2-0. Sylvain got the save yesterday, a 5'11" to 180-pound freshman from Omaha. Throws from that sidearm, 3/4 arm slot.
Does he spell his first name like the college?
Indeed he does.
And he's from Omaha.
He is from Omaha. Pitched 1 inning, had 1 strikeout. Pitched the 9th inning yesterday. Here's McGuire. He has flown out and lined out to center. Zion Bolin at second. Ryan Moritz at first. 2 away. Dragons leading 2-0. The pitch.
Oh.
Inside, nearly hit him.
How did that not hit him?
And now Max throws his hand up like, what did I just do? So Caden Alexander goes 5 2/3. Allows just 3 hits. That pitch high and tight. 2-0.
Creighton was a little bit wild with his warm-up tosses.
Here's a 2-0 delivery. That one a slider on the outside corner for a strike.
That's where he wants to live.
Moritz not being held on at first. The first baseman Postier playing behind him with Bolin at second.
Already action in the Labette bullpen.
The pitch. Low and in, 3-1 to McGuire. Big moment. Kind of a momentum moment. If the Dragons can get one again, I think they could pull away. But if Labette gets out of this, they're right in the game with 3 at-bats to go. Inside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Bolin moves up to third, Moritz to second, and now Caesar will be the batter.
Come on, Caesar.
Blue Dragons finding their way on base without getting hits.
Caesar 0 for 2. He's 0 for 6 on the afternoon. A strikeout and 5 fly ball outs. He needs to get one on the ground and make things happen. Four walks issued by Labette pitching, and Caesar takes outside ball 1.
Denny Steckline commenting about the bunt possibility with the third baseman playing back. It would work.
It would work. Here's the pitch. Right down Peachtree Avenue for a strike.
Hard to get a grand slam by bunting. He is pretty fast.
Yeah, but I think he catches up to
That's
Max
true.
at first base.
Yeah, that's right.
Pitch. One's lifted to left, playable for Praley, and the Dragons are going to leave him loaded in the 6th. Another fly ball out, unproductive out, and the inning is over. The Dragons get no runs on no hits. There were 2 walks and a hit batter. They strand 3 and have stranded 7 through 6 innings. We head to the 7th inning here at Hobart-Detter Field. Dragons 2 and the Cardinals nothing. Seventh inning rolls around. 2-0 Hutchinson in game 3 over to the Labette Cardinals. Well, Miguel Reyes Jr. has scattered 5 hits over 6 innings. He struck out 10.
It's still anybody's series.
It's going to be 7, 8, and 9 here in the 7th for the Cardinals. Posterior to Jesus and Federico. And Miguel Reyes, he has pitched out of 2 major jams and has just girded it up and struck everybody out once he got into those jams.
Actually pitches better when he's facing a little bit of adversity.
Which hasn't been the case this year. Swinging a foul ball by Rustin Postier.
That's a pretty good sign of growth, and it could have to do with knowing where he's heading next year, knowing that there's a team that had confidence in him.
Pressure's off now. That can be it cause a lot of anxiety being re-recruited. The 0-1. Strike inside corner. Slider, and it's 0-2 to Postier. Pitch number 107 for Reyes. There's the 0-2. Tap foul.
He's a little bit tardy on that swing.
I still think Reyes can even up his strikeout count if he starts working up the ladder more on plus counts. The 0-2. Overthrew that slider and he ditched it. It's a ball and 2 strikes to Postier. Miguel sometimes can fall in love with that slider. Pitchers have the ability to shake off what Max McGuire throws down. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball left side, deep short Sartori. The throw not in time. It'll be an infield single for Postier. He gets his 4th hit of the series.
Well-placed ground ball.
6 hits now for the Cardinals. And the tying run once again comes to the plate in Abner DeJesus. And Ryan Schmidt heads to the mound.
Sartori did a good job just to field that ball. The throw was virtually impossible.
This might spell the end of the day for Miguel Reyes. Ball is taken from him, and Miguel Reyes deserves a big hand. In a clutch situation, he goes 6+ and strikes out 10, and the Dragon dugout comes out to greet him. Ryan Summers, your new pitcher. We'll tell you about him after this break. Sophomore Ryan Summers takes over from Miguel Reyes. A gritty outing by Miguel. 6+ innings, 10 strikeouts, 6 hits allowed. He leaves the game leading 2-0. He can win it, cannot lose it. Summers, a 6'5", 185-pound sophomore right-hander out of Coweta, Oklahoma. The numbers on Ryan: 7-3 record, 3.89 earned run average. On for the 22nd time, 19th out of the pen. He has 1 save. 39 in the third innings pitched, 32 hits allowed, 19 runs, 17 earned. Summers has struck out 55 and walked 20. And opponents hitting just .219 against. Summers took the loss in Game 1 yesterday. Or check that. He gave up the go-ahead hit. Cade Fenton took the loss. Summers had 2 strikeouts as part of that record-tying 19 yesterday.
55 Ks in 39 innings is pretty impressive.
So he's going to face 8 and 9 here. Abner DeJesus and then Federico. Post here at first, bunt popped back out of play. DeJesus is 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out to the pitcher, Reyes. Showing bunt. Fastball misses wide, not
close.
by much, and it's
Very
1-1.
Dylan Nedved inching closer to the plate in case of a bunt.
13 sacrifices for the Cardinals this year. There's a showing bunt, pulls back and swings and misses. It's Jesus down in the count 1-2. So probably bunt off now with 2 strikes. Working quickly, Summers the pitch. Struck him out on a pitch up the ladder. And there's up the ladder. One away here in the 7th.
The slash is a real shot in the arm when it works. When it doesn't work, it just does not look good.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. Now a runner at first, 1 away for Dante Federico. He got his first hit of the game first hit of the series back in the 5th, a single. Federico now 1 for 7 in this Region 6 series. Posterior away from first, the pitch. Swung on and missed.
He almost swung clear out of his cleats on that one.
Probably not a running situation, but Labette not a big running team. Just 40 of 48 this year. Pitch outside for a ball. That pitch yesterday that Summers delivered to Posterior, you'd love to have back. Oh, first pitch of the at-bat, a fastball right down the middle, belled high. And Posterior struck out 3 times. There's a swing and a miss by Federico, and it's 1-2. Posterior deposited in the right center field for 2 runs, and Labette had a 4-2 lead in the 8th. 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging, 2 away. So now 12 combined strikeouts for Blue Dragon pitching in the game. They struck out 19 yesterday. That's 31. And 9 more. So that's 40 strikeouts now for Blue Dragon pitching. Ball 1 to Landon Lord. 4th time around the order for the Cardinals here in the final game of the series. The pitch. Upstairs, a little bit tight, ball 2.
Pitching has been solid this series. Coach Reller needs to be pleased.
Again, the 2-out probability has made a play. All 8 runs scored by Labette in the series have come with 2 out. I knew I was going to do it. Landon Lord swings and misses. That's 2-1.
Think of your landlord that you have to pay the rent to.
That would be John Corey for me. 2-1 pitch. A little bit low, 3-1. Josh Praley would be on deck if Lord can extend the inning. Posterior at first, he led off with a single. He's still there now with 2 out. Foul ball. Max McGuire is making sure that didn't catch Todd Segweg. A lot of concern, but everybody's okay, and now the count is full. 3-2, 2 out. So Posterior is going to be moving on the pitch. A little surprised that Baxley's holding the runner with a full count. And leaves the hole open between first and second. 3-2 pitch. Got him swinging, and the inning is over.
Summers took any hope of hitting it through the hole off the table.
No runs, a hit, 1 left. The Cardinals have stranded 7 through 7. 7th inning stretch time at Hobart-Detter Field. It's the Dragons 2 and the Cardinals nothing. Bottom of the 7th at Hobart-Detter Field, game number 3 of the Region 6 Best of 3 series, tied at a game apiece. Hutchinson leading Labette 2-0. The winner will play the Fort Scott Seward County winner at 4 p.m. on Wednesday at Axe Stadium. Steve Carpenter, Dan Nacarado with you on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
We're glad you're watching on YouTube. Call your friends. Tell them to tune in because things are always exciting when you get to the last couple innings of Game 3 of a postseason series.
And Brandon Sam smiles bigger when you have more hits. So Logan Sartori takes a strike from Creighton Sylvain here in the 7th. Sartori is 0 for 1, but he's been on base twice. Was hit with a pitch in the 3rd and scored, walked in the 5th, the 0-1. That misses high in the count, even at 1 ball and 1 strike to the Dragon shortstop.
It's an absolutely gorgeous day here at Hobart-Detter Field. I have to admit, though, most of the season I've preferred to watch YouTube and listening to Steve Carpenter's play-by-play along with Brandon's pictures.
2-1 now the count on a slider outside from Sylvain.
You can multitask a little bit when you do it that way.
I know you can get a car washed. Good swing, foul back.
Yeah, we didn't get to that story.
Yeah. I think, would you wax it 3 times that day?
How many innings did the game end up going?
13 innings.
Yeah, it was, I think the car, I had finished waxing it at the end of the 4th inning, I think. But I just couldn't, the game was on in the garage, and I was having so much fun listening to you call it that I just figured, we'll just keep buffing.
Now a full count to Sartori. That was the infamous Andrew Dixon scoring from second base on a wild pitch in the bottom of the 13th inning to end it.
You just don't see that happen.
The pitch. Sartori gets in front of one and yanks it high down the left field line. Praley gives chase, but it's into the Dragon bullpen, and it remains 3-2 to Sartori.
And it was a game that was rescheduled a couple of times and moved due to weather.
Right. Yeah, and that was something else. That was the only time that I've actually ever just lost it on the air.
It was a thing of beauty, Carp. It will forever live in my memory.
And Hallier just left me hanging. He didn't offer anything for about 30 seconds.
You guys did a good job. That was in the days when it was on FM radio.
Yep. Working on, if we would get to Grand Junction, we're working on a deal with one of the local stations.
Good.
Here's the payoff pitch to Sartori. May have swung at a ball, but he sends a bullet
I would suggest
for the dugout.
I would suggest AutoZone or somebody that sells car wax as a sponsor.
Sartori's fought off a couple of 3-2 pitches. Now we're ready for the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Creighton Sylvain to Logan Sartori. It's popped up and playable in the infield.
Could be trouble.
Once again, the pitcher,
Sylvain,
makes the catch one away.
He played it very calmly.
A lot of these Labette pitchers are two-way players. You look at their roster. A lot of
good point.
Go two-way.
That's a good point because he certainly had no fear whatsoever of making that play.
Here's Dylan Nedved. RBI double in the 3rd, 1 for 2. He walked in the 5th.
Sun has popped out. We see partly cloudy skies now, and that pop-up could have been sun. Sun could have been a problem for the first baseman.
Swinging a high fastball and foul back by Nedved. We're in the later innings now. It's postseason, so the intensity definitely has picked up. The pitch. Pitching on the hands, foul back. And now Nedved hits out of an 0-2 hole. This Labette staff, they finished 8th in the Jayhawk East this year. 7.73 ERA, but they have pitched nothing like that in this series. They are to be commended. The 0-2. Now pitch bounces in from Sylvain, and now it's a ball and 2 strikes. Jordan Graham worked 7 spotless innings yesterday. Or not spotless, but he battled 5 hits, 2 runs, struck out 8 and walked 6. Got the win. Sylvain got his 3rd save of the season yesterday in Labette's 4-3 game 1. 1-2 pitch. Foul back just off to my right. 1-2 pitch. Foul out of play off to the right again. That's a defensive swing, but not a bad deal. You fight to live another day with a swing like that. One-two pitch. Foul off again. That's 4 straight 2-strike pitches that Nedved's fought off.
Probably time for Labette to go out of the strike zone on this next pitch and see if Dylan will chase.
1-2 pitch. Lifted down the right field line. Could be trouble, but it's going to hook and drop foul.
Nice job by Dylan to fight off pitch after pitch.
My old buddy Sean Boston checking in. Now the play-by-play guy of Dodge City football and basketball, both high school and Dodge City Community College.
I think he does some Garden City work as well. Sean's a good man. Does a great job.
1-2 pitch. Hit down the right field line, giving chase as Saldana into the foul territory, and it lands just over the fence out of play. This will be number 10 coming up.
10th pitch of this at bat. Wow.
When you talk about elongated at bats, I always go back to 1977 World Series, Reggie Jackson versus Bob Welch. 17th pitch of the at bat was Reggie's third home run of that game. Pitch inside, pitch number 10.
He probably had to take a water break somewhere in that at bat.
It was amazing at bat, and Reggie won that. But Reggie Jackson versus Bob Welch, one of the best all-time single moments in World Series history. The pitch.
Got a candy bar named after him after that, and Howard Cosell went crazy.
Well, that was a day ending in Y.
That's true.
Oh, those were the days. Nedved fouls the 11th pitch of the at-bat back to the netting. It remains 2-2. Fouled off again. Drew White couldn't hold on to it. New life for Dylan Nedved. Nedved out of Shawnee, but he's going to play next year at the University of Iowa in Iowa City.
Oh, good.
Guess he has a lot of family in Iowa. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball right side, and that's a base hit on the 13th pitch of the at-bat.
You see 12 pitches. It's the advantage swings big time to the hitter.
But give the pitcher credit. He had to pour all those in to make quality pitches to get those. So that's a great battle. Just the 4th hit of the game for Hutchinson, their first since the 5th. 1 on, 1 out for Zane Schmidt. And he's due. 0 for 3 today.
He's hit the ball hard, though.
Schmidt now 2 for 11 in the series. He's hit 2 to the center field wall. Grounds this one foul outside of third. Toby Cornejo showing off that big-time glove he used to play with when he was a Blue Dragon shortstop. 0-1 the count.
Toby Cornejo deserves a lot of the credit for how good Hobart-Detter Field looks.
He's worked really hard this week. Sylvain comes set. That pitch is inside and back to the screen, and on his way up to second is Zane Schmidt.
Surely he wasn't squaring to bunt.
It might have been what threw Sylvain's pitch off. Zane has actually 2 bunt hits this year.
Did they both go to the outfield?
No, they weren't Andrew Prignance's. And once hit the left field, it's going to hang up for Praley to make the catch. He hit it well again.
Yeah, he did. He went the other way with it, hit it on the button.
And now Riley Metzger.
Zane will probably have a few ABs where he gets bloop hits to even things out before this season's over.
And hopefully that season will end in Grand Junction, but right now you still got to get to Wichita, and that's in the balance. Here's Riley. Metzger is 0 for 2, or 1 for 3, a couple of strikeouts, and a second inning home run. His 9th of the year. Breaking pitch over the outer half for a strike. Momentum keeps shifting ever so slightly. Again, if the Dragons can push that third run across, I think the floodgates could open. The difference between a 2-run deficit and a 3-run deficit late in the game, especially the mindset of a team, can be astronomical. Time called by Metzger and it is granted by Todd Segwig. Great crowd on hand. Thanks for coming out to the ballpark today. Good audience on the network as well. And thank you all for joining us. 1. Foul back. 0-2 to Metzger. Riley missed 10 games earlier this year in early April. An injury to his hand. And yesterday he hit a foul ball and he aggravated it a little bit. But he says when he squares it up, he doesn't feel anything. The hamate bone. 0-2 to Metzger. Sylvain wastes one outside, and it's 1-2 now to the Dragon left fielder.
2 best cures in all of medicine.
A final score, Fort Scott sweeps Seward County, winning Game 2 6-5. So Fort Scott awaits the winner of this series. That pitch on the outside corner, Riley takes a called third. 10-7. No runs, a hit, and 1 left. The Dragons have stranded 8 through 7. It's getting tense here at Hobart-Detter. Game number 3, Dragons 2 and the Cardinals nothing. Couple of score updates. Evidently, the wind is blowing out at Colby. Coffeyville in the top of the second leads Colby 7-5 in game number 3. Cali all over Pratt, top of the fourth, 14-1. Here it's 2-0 Hutch, top of the 8th. Josh Praley. It's 2-3-4 here in the 8th inning. There's a line to left field by Praley, and it's a base hit.
Good piece of hitting by Praley.
Opposite field single. Now the tying run comes to the plate in the form of Drew White, the third leading hitter in the Jayhawk. The Dragons have handled him nicely. His last time up, he led off the 6th with a double. Time called. We've seen Ryan Summers, especially in the last 3 weeks, give one very good productive inning like he was with the striking out the side in the 7th. Struggle on the next inning. Here's a ground ball snagged by Summers. The only out will be to first.
That was an impressive play by Summers because his momentum was taking him towards the first baseline. The ball was hit right back to the pitching rubber. He had to spin around and battle the hill. Lost his footing just a little bit, but still made the play.
And if it gets past him, who knows if the Dragons get anybody. That ball was not hard hit. Now Justin Perez. Runner at second, one away here in the eighth. The pitch. Upstairs, ball one. Perez has 0 for 3, struck out twice. All three of those at bats against Miguel Reyes. We'll get you his final numbers here in just a second. I haven't given those yet. Fastball down the chute for a strike, and it's 1-1.
Summers just absolutely dominated that last inning.
Reyes, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts, 110 pitches. He can win it, he cannot lose it. 1-1 pitch. Ooh, just off the plate wide, a breaking pitch, and it's 2-1. Dragons have been out hitting this one 7-4, but they lead 2-0. Outside, 3-1. Summers needs to come in with this one. 3-1 pitch. Challenged Perez, and he swings and misses, full count. You almost like to see him work him up the ladder here, see if he chase.
Summers shaking it off. Wants to throw a fastball, I would guess.
3-2 pitch. High ball 4. They check.
He put it right where you wanted him to. That was a good take.
So now it's first and second, one out. The tying run is aboard, and it'll be Evan Jacoby, the batter.
Never know if a pitcher is playing games with the batter, but more times than not, when they shake the catcher off, it's because they want to throw a fastball.
Jacoby 1 for 3, a single and 2 strikeouts, and it's a strike inside corner at the knees from Ryan Summers. I always get nervous when you shake a catcher off, and that's just kind of me. Just think of Crash Davis and Bull Durham. The pitch. Slice foul off to the left, 0-2. I watch too many baseball movies.
You cannot watch too many baseball movies.
But when you start
It's impossible.
when you start tying it into reality. Summers up in the count, 0-2. The pitch. Upstairs, a ball, 1-2.
Baseball just lends itself to the silver screen.
It does. It really does. And now this is a real live drama. The Dragons trying to advance to Wichita. 1-2 pitch. Ooh, misses just inside, 2-2.
Definitely fooled him with that pitch. Almost snuck it by him on the inner black.
The Dragons have pitched under some pressure today and so far have succeeded here in game number 3. The pitch, full count. So he was ahead in the count 1-2, just missed on that pitch, and now it's 3-2. He's going to have to come flush or load the bases with 1 out. The pitch, slice foul.
Late on the swing.
Cade Fenton starts loosening in the Dragon pen. He took the loss yesterday, but he pitched well. He's hit into some bad luck with an error. Once again, the 3-2. High fly to center. Going back is Caesar. He'll slow down short of the track, making the catch. Tagging and going to third is Praley. And now it's runners at the corners, 2 away.
That shot put a little bit of scare into the Blue Dragon fans.
Indeed it did. Now Tate Saldana.
In center field, Caesar will catch just about anything that stays in the ballpark.
Saldana has lined out to center and struck out twice, 0 for 3. A 1 for 10 in the series is Saldana. Summers' pitch, high and tight, ball 1.
He's throwing hard.
Rustin Postier's on deck if Saldana can extend the inning, and I'd rather see Postier in the ninth.
That one
Foul
kind
tipped, and that one caught Todd Segweg a little bit.
got him in the mask. Even though you're wearing a mask, sometimes it hurts.
That will ring your bell. We've had that several times here with umpires.
This is a little bit more serious than.
Jay Sanderson down from first to check on Todd. Also, Sam Chart's coming in. Amanda Beadle from Blue Dragon Sports Information's on her way out. Ryan Schmidt brings out a new load of baseballs for Todd Segweg.
All season long, games have been umpired with 2. So if he is if he's unable to continue, the umpiring crew can definitely take care of it.
Todd says he's okay.
And that's the most important part.
Praley at third, Perez at first, 2 away, and a 1-1 count to Tate Saldana. Summers out of the stretch, comes set. Breaking pitch inside corner, a strike, and it's 1-2. That was a gutty pitch.
It was, and it froze the batter.
Summers gets the sign from Max McGuire. Now comes set out of the stretch. Time is called.
I think that time was called by McGuire, so he might have rethought the pitch selection.
Once again, Summers comes set. The pitch. Popped up. Behind first could be trouble. It's Ryan Mortz making the catch in fair territory, and the inning is over. Good pitch from Summers in on the hands. And Saldana pops out to Mortz. The Cardinals strand 2 and have left 9 through 8 innings. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Dragons 2 and the Cardinals nothing. Oh, yeah. Zion Bolin to lead it off in the bottom of the 8th. Dragons leading Labette 2-0 in Game 3. Third inning. 28-24 was the final. The Dragons set an all-time record for runs scored and an all-time record for runs allowed in the same game. That was the Nyack game last year. That was the Nyack game last year you were joking about. Strike 1 to Zion Bolin. After his 6 RBI game earlier today, he's 0 for 3. Take a called third his last time up.
How long did it take to play a 28-24 game?
Fly ball center field. Drifting back is Federico to make the catch, and there's 1 away. Let's put that game in perspective, Coach Knack.
Let's do.
In 2013, the Blue Dragons played a 19-inning game with the Colby Trojans. That game took 4 hours and 20 minutes. The 9-inning game, 28-24 over Nyack last year, took 4 hours and 9 minutes.
Wow.
Here's Baxley, 0 for 3. Took a call third his last time up and takes a big cut and a pitch up and misses, strike 1.
That game made a lot of batting averages and wrecked a few earned run averages.
There were 11 home runs in the first 2 innings. It was 14-11 after 2 innings.
It's incredible.
The 0-1 pitch. Off speed, swung on and missed. Dragons have been out hit 7-4. Single runs in the second and the third. The 0-2 pitch. Baxley strikes out.
For
Now
both teams, it's been as well of a pitched game 3 in a 3-game postseason series as I've ever seen.
Sylvain with 2 strikeouts over 2 innings. Blue Dragon pitching has struck out 13 Cardinals. Cardinal pitching has struck out 8 Blue Dragons in this one. Now bases empty, 2 away for Ryan Moritz. He's 1 for 2. Singled in the 5th, walked in the 6th.
13 of the Cardinals' outs, 13 out of 24 outs came by route of strikeout. It's pretty good pitching.
Looking ahead to the top of the 9th, it's the bottom third of the order. Posterior to Jesus and Federico for the Labette Cardinals.
We'll see if Labette has some other hitters nestled away in the dugout.
1-1 the count now to Mo. Dragons were held to 3 hits in game 1 yesterday. They pounded out 11 in game 2, but limited to 4 in game 3. Strike called on a breaking pitch. And the count 1-2. Sylvain gets the pitch he likes. Now delivers the 1-2. Inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Moritz has walked 5 times in the series. He's walked now 37 times for the season. 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3, outside corner. Dragons go in order in the 8th. We head to the 9th. Dragons 2, Cardinals nothing. One defensive change for the Blue Dragons, taking over in right field for Zion Bolin as freshman Will Reitz. And
Apparently
Ryan,
Will Reitz's arm is very warm because he just threw it from right field all the way to the dugout intentionally.
It's the top of the 9th. Hutch leading Labette 2-0.
Will Reitz, another one of those Blue Dragon baseball players who is an outstanding student.
It'll be posterior, then likely a pinch hitter. Zach Bess in the on-deck circle. He'll probably hit for DeJesus. And then we'll see what they do with Dante Federico. Dragons 3 outs away from Wichita. But 3 long outs to go. Here's Posterior. Off speed, swung on and missed. Posterior, 2 out of 3 in this game. He's had a fine series after his first 3 at-bats. 3 punch-outs before that double yesterday. He lifts one to right field. Reitz has it measured. 1 out in the 9th.
Didn't take long for Will Reitz to make a play.
We'll have a pinch hitter. It will be Zach Bess, a sophomore out of Collinsville, Oklahoma. He'll be pinch hitting for DeJesus.
I'll be shocked if he swings at the first pitch.
Bess, a .235 hitter, does have a home run and 18 RBIs and nearly wears one up and in. Summers came on with nobody out in the 7th, struck out the side, gave up a hit and a walk in the 8th, got out of it. Now it's 2-0 to Best, the pinch hitter. 3-0. Cade Fenton in the pen, just in case.
I think he's pretty well warm if needed.
3-0 right through there. A strike, 3 balls and 1 strike to count now. Dragons have just 4 hits on the afternoon. 3-1. High ball 4, and the tying run will come to the plate. They will stay with Dante Federico. Federico 1 for 3, a 5th inning single. He struck out his last time. Dragons have rolled 3 double plays in this series. With 11 inning and here, the pitch from Summers. High ball 1. You knew it wasn't going to be easy. That's just not the Blue Dragon way. 1-0 pitch. Strike at the letters, 1-1. Riley Metzger homered in the 2nd. Dylan Nedved doubled home Logan Sartori in the 3rd, and that's been the extent of the runs. Swing and a miss by Federico. It's 1-2. Landon Lord, the best hitter of the series for Labette, is on deck. Bess leads from first. 1-2. Struck him out. There's 2 away. And now it's going to come down to power versus power. Not in terms of home runs, but Labette's best hitter in Lane Lord. 1 for 4 in this one. Lord is 4 for 13 in the series, 2 doubles. He represents the tying run. Lord does have 4 home runs and lifts this one to right down the line, foul territory. Baxley gives chase, but never had a chance at it. And then strike 1 to Lord.
Baxley is holding the runner at first. I'm not sure I would do that in this situation.
Gives up that hole. Lord can go the other way. Here's the 0-1. Breaking pitch upstairs. Count evens at a ball and a strike to Lord. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2. 1 strike away. Bess away from first. Here's a 1-2 pitch. A little bit high, 2-2.
A little bit of adrenaline on that pitch. Can't blame him. It's exciting to be 1 pitch away from punching your ticket to Wichita State.
Summers steps off momentarily. Now gets right back aboard. The big righty comes set. Now the 2-2. Got him swinging, and the Dragons complete the comeback. They dropped the first game yesterday, but win 2 today, winning 13-4, and then tossed their first Region 6 shutout since 2014. A 2-0 victory. Miguel Reyes, the winning pitcher. Ryan Summers gets the save, and the Dragons complete the comeback and win the series with Labette 2-1. We'll wrap it up right after this. Welcome back to a very happy Hobart-Detter Field. It's time for the Blue Dragon post game on the network. Hutchinson completes the comeback today, winning the game 2 of the series 13-4 over Labette. And then a tremendous pitching performance between Miguel Reyes Jr. and Ryan Summers. They combined for a 7-hit shutout. And the Dragons, for the second straight year, lose game 1, but win the next 2 and now advance to Wichita. Final score 2-0. Steve Carpenter, Dan Nacarado with you. Nack, your thoughts after this one?
Well, first of all, hats off to Labette for competing as hard and as well as they did yesterday and today. They have a lot to be proud of in the way they represented their school and their community today. Congratulations to Blue Dragon Baseball. It's always exciting to advance in the postseason.
Indeed it is. Again, Labette getting their first playoff win in this current format ever. They won their first game yesterday, but they battled hard. Their pitching staff did not throw like a staff with a 7.7 ERA. They get the win, or the Blue Dragons get the win, though. And now we'll face Fort Scott at 4 o'clock next Wednesday. 4 o'clock next Wednesday. Fort Scott swept Seward County today in Fort Scott, so the Dragons will face Fort Scott for the first time since 2015 when they met here in Fort Scott, came into Hobart-Detter Field, and swept the Blue Dragons. Let's get you the totals for this one. For the Blue Dragons, who are now 40-19, their 9th 40-win season in program history. It is 2 runs, just 4 hits, no errors, 8 left on. For Labette, no runs, 7 hits, no errors, 10 left on. Miguel Reyes, the winning pitcher, 6+ innings. He improves his record to 3-3. Caden Alexander, the tough luck loser, he pitched strong. He falls 2-6, and Ryan Summers earns his 2nd save of the year and a game time of 2 hours and 29 minutes. In terms of offense, there wasn't much to talk about. Riley Metzger leads off the 2nd inning with a home run, and then in the 3rd with 2 out. Logan Sartori hit with a pitch. And then he scores all the way from first on a Dylan Nedved double high off the wall in center field. So the Blue Dragons, in 2 of the 3 games in this series, held to 4 hits or less. But again, they advanced to Wichita. So it was a good series for the Blue Dragon pitching staff. They wind up, let me count this out one more time, at 19 strikeouts yesterday. 9 more in the first game, and they end up with 15 more today. So 19, 28, 43 strikeouts in 3 games for the Blue Dragon pitching staff. Already well in number 1 in the Jayhawk, but they solidified that with a huge pitching performance all the way around.
Everybody that was called on to take the mound really competed well for the Blue Dragons. You can't really ask a pitching staff to play any better than they did during this series.
Now the Dragon offense, again, struggled in 2 of the 3 games, but again, timely hitting in this one gets the job done. Again, the home run by Metzger is 9th of the year, and then Dylan Nedved's 14th double drives in his 61st run of the year. He's now number 4 in the Jayhawk in RBIs. He may have climbed to number 3, depending on what other people did. But most importantly, Dan Nacarado, the Dragons have advanced. They make the comeback, winning this series 2-1. Never easy for the Blue Dragons. It's been that way since 2005.
You could tell from their body language that this is a team that does not want to be done, that they're a team that expects to accomplish more than simply making an appearance in the final 8 of the region at Wichita State. You could tell there wasn't this giant celebration after this series victory. It's a team that expected to win.
And they will get that chance. Last year they finished 3rd in the region. They'd like to improve that a couple of spots this year. Hutchinson has not been to the World Series since 2010, and the 2019 version looking to change that up. Knack, thank you so much, sir.
My pleasure, Carp. Thank you very much for letting me join you today.
Glad you could help out. And thanks to all the Labette people checking in. My thanks to Brandon Sams, the video guru of the Blue Dragon Athletics. He gets to head home and back to Wichita, and I finally get to go home today. A very good day for Blue Dragon baseball. Now 40-19, tying for the ninth most wins in team history, the ninth 40th win season in team history. Blue Dragons will be back at it again Wednesday afternoon at 4 p.m. scheduled time. That'll be the third game of the afternoon at X Stadium in Wichita. They will play the Fort Scott Greyhounds in the opening round of the Central District Tournament. We'll have the broadcast with you, or for you, 15 minutes ahead of game time, but right now scheduled for 4 p.m. start. So plan on logging in about 3:45 p.m. For Dan Nacarado and Brandon Sams, thanks for joining us. Steve Carpenter from Hobart-Detter Field. The Dragons complete the comeback, winning today 13-4 in the final in game 2, and in the final game, defeating Labette 2-0 to take the series 2-1. Again, we'll talk to you again Wednesday from X Stadium in Wichita. Until then, Steve Carpenter, so long, everybody.